to be totally fixed up by this change that Brian's made, or this correction that he's made. But I just want to be certain of it.
Okay. And I'm a lot colder, guys, on this on that than Steve was. So just do a dump on me, make me the corrections, and I'll just do it kind of cold without analyzing it, and then when I read it again tonight.
Okay.
I'll see
First
if I
thing, Brian, is I just want to make sure what you meant here is you want that to be VWW.
No, I don't. I want it to be VIH.
Or VWH.
It can be either one, but I want it to be VIH.
Okay, well then let's talk about it. Because then what we're doing, in the first line of this page, we're saying the viewing image height and viewing image width within the viewing window can be determined by comparing the source image aspect ratio to the viewing window aspect ratio. So the unknowns are the height and the width of the viewing window. Viewing image window.
But no, once you know the aspect ratio, what it says is if you compare the aspect ratios, you know what those are.
For the source and the viewing window.
Right. If you know what the aspect ratios are, all you need to know is determine whether you're going to use VWH as the basis or whether it's going to be VWW.
Okay, so let's just say in the first that the source image aspect ratio is greater than the viewing window aspect ratio.
Right.
Then we're going to set the viewing image height equal to
the viewing
window height.
Right.
In order to get the viewing, and then the next line, in order to get the viewing image width,
right,
we need to divide the viewing image height, which we don't know.
We do know.
Okay, tell me.
Because it's equal to VWH.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Just so the line above.
So we're really saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is mathematically correct.
Okay. Okay, so we are saying the same thing.
Right.
Okay, grammatically, Brian. I'm partially kidding on that, but when you use the phrase target image size, go to, well, you don't have, maybe you do have a spreadsheet.
Okay, let's come down.
Let's come down.
Yeah.
So let's say if that's false.
Well, my question is the language. You say that on line 24, 3, 4, a target image size, TIS, has a TIW and a TIH. Does that make sense to call the window a TIS or a VWS for size? It's the same concept. Width times height equals something. You want to call it area? That's even clearer.
Yeah, size and area are interchangeable.
Well, maybe we should say that the target image area, TIA, having a target image width times height, that's beautiful.
They're interchangeable, so it'll work either way.
Okay.
Okay, then let's just continue.
We're simply defining
Size as area.
Size as area, but size is total number of pixels, which is area.
My only question would be, can I make the, at the top of page 12, where you said the viewing image height, VIH, and view image width, VIW, within the viewing window area, VWA?
Yes, that would be very clear.
Yeah. Because, you're also consistent with the target image area. Now, but am I doing the wrong thing here, Brian? Because you used VW earlier. Are you using it consistently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's consistent.
I see, if just continuing with my thought pattern in the else statement, I would just reverse the order of these.
Yeah.
It puts VIW.
It's right there.
Okay. Okay.
So if you pick it up off the computer copy that I said, it's correct.
Oh, okay. So do you want, is that what he did, is just plug it in, or did he do something?
Yeah, he did. This is what I sent him last Thursday.
I see.
I had written.
Oh, okay.
This is where it was transcribed.
Okay, well, clue me in where this started, Brian.
Okay, so you go down to, on page 12,
Is page 11 on your sheet or not?
Page 1 on the imaging process.
Yeah, where is page 11 of the text, the formula? Starts at figure 7.
Yeah, you got to go back to 11 and start them in figure
Yeah, start me off here so I don't blow this.
Oh,
Right. He wants to get every term.
oh, okay. Well, okay, on page 11, we define the aspect ratio.
Right, now can I, is that, which is on page 1 of your new...
Right.
Got it. Oh, okay, that's what I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, it's on page 1.
Brian, do you want me to, you still want me to use his text, because it looks
Yes,
like...
no, his text is fine.
Yeah, it looks like he added words to your,
Yes, no, he expanded,
right, he expanded it to make it readable.
right.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. But the formulas, I should go through each one of the formulas and make sure that they're correct, right?
Right.
Well, that's what I'd like to do now before I run out of time.
Okay.
Brian, down you're on the 12?
Yeah.
On 12, when we, after line 25, where we start talking about these equations,
Right.
the statement here, I don't see as being expressed right now. It could be wrong, but the TIS equals the TIW times the TIH. Agreed. But that also equals VIS times the magnification factor.
That's correct.
And when I redo this formula, I understand that the magnification factor is equal to VIS over TIS.
No, not true.
Okay, because up
Oh, wait a
above,
minute. The magnification factor, yes, it is. The magnification factor is TIS divided by VIS.
actually I had it the other way. VIS divided by TIS.
TIS divided by VIS.
Magnification defined as the ratio of the viewing image to the target image.
Right.
So it would be VIS over
What is
TIS.
the ratio?
Of the area?
It's got to be one over the other.
It's-
So we got to express it right.
It's the target, it's the TIS divided by the VIS.
Okay, then let's go to line 18, line 19. Then this is stated wrong. The magnification factor is defined as the ratio of the viewing image to the target image.
Okay, so we
So
reverse that.
that needs to be reversed.
Right, but that's word for word what you have on top of page...
So it's defined as the ratio of the target image to the viewing image.
Okay, so those need to be reversed.
Uh-huh.
In which case, we've got TIS divided by VIS equals MF. If I'm solving for TS, I got TS equals Viz times MF. There, now you're right. Okay. So that down below is fine. That's where I got
Yeah, because the target is going to be generally greater than the viewing image window.
Yeah, I just couldn't reconcile
number,
the
gotcha.
formulas because of that just the transposition, that's all.
Brian, what are you ratioing? The sides, the area,
You're ratioing the area.
the areas?
Yeah, and I like that clarification.
Can we say it's the ratio of the areas? Or
The
the
ratio
ratio
of the areas,
of image
because-
area to the target image area?
Yeah, because when you magnify, you're magnifying area, as magnification is an areal function.
Excellent.
So height times width is area, which would be good if we,
Yeah,
every time we refer to either target image or viewing image, we call it viewing image area or target image area.
The only reason I picked size instead of area is because we talk about aspect ratio, and if you begin to use the A, and A shows up
Oh, I see.
in a number of different forms, and therefore I didn't want the confusion of A
see.
in one being A, aspect ratio being
That's
the
right.
same as A in area.
I see.
That's the reason why I did that.
Okay.
But we understand that area and size are synonymous.
Okay.
Let's just get rid of the A in aspect, make it SIR. And that solves your problem, and then everything else is also
That's right.
3 digits. Letters, right?
That's okay, because as long as we define aspect ratio as
SIR. Right.
SIR, source image ratio, is the aspect ratio.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And that goes on line 4 as well.
Yeah, all the way
Okay.
through.
Great.
It actually,
Now, again, Doug, just in the interest of time, I think what I'd like to do is apply the semantic changes to the text
Okay.
later, after we've made sure that some of my math questions that Brian are on the
Yeah.
same page
No,
before I have to leave.
And I'm not even sure we'll have to do that because I have to go through it when I do the edits here, and I will do the same thing you're doing, see that it makes sense.
Okay. This, on the top of
Language
page
makes sense.
13, then, what I was able to determine from this and confirmed with Brian is that the source image aspect ratio is equal to the target image aspect ratio.
Right.
And the question is, was this intended? Because, and we started to have this conversation, is that we may not have, we may crop photographs, we may want to stretch a photograph.
Right. But let me explain how that works. First of all, in the image sizing program, you have the ability to change the size of the source image from a standard image. In other words, if you're cropping, you can specify the crop.
Right.
So, and it will give you the right dimensions, and it will fit it into the viewing window. Okay, so a cropped image.
But it lost data.
No, didn't
When
lose
you
any data.
crop, don't you cut away a piece of data?
It's before you get data. It's while it's still an image.
Right.
So it just smushes it in right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it
That's
fits
what
it into
we're
the viewing
doing.
window properly. So you can specify a cropped image source without any problem. But the case that isn't covered yet, there are two cases that aren't covered yet. One is where you digitally crop an image. Okay, which you can do. You can get there, but you have to know how to get there. The second is we have not covered the case of the panorama or stitch images.
But it's still one image in the end.
I know, but we haven't covered the case of the
map.
dimensions.
Right.
Because it assumes that you always fit the image into the viewing window. But in the case of stitched images, you don't.
Why?
You let
The image flows beyond
the
it.
image flows beyond the edges of the viewing window.
It does?
Yes. When you first look at a Hyatt hotel pool shot, you don't see the whole shot. You see one shot and then you pan around it. So you're not
Right.
fitting the whole image into the viewing window to
But
begin
we
with.
never were.
On a single photo you are.
On
The
a
fire art also gave you the ability to do that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But from the math standpoint, he's not creating a formula for fitting a panoramic image
Into a viewing window.
because you don't do
Gotcha.
that.
right.
Okay.
What do you
But
do
now-
in terms of actually doing the math, Brian, or the practice?
Well, when you get to when I get that built into the image sizing program,
Right.
what it will do is it will size the panorama into the viewing window vertically,
Uh-huh.
and then it will allow you to pan horizontally across the image.
Or vice versa?
Yes, theoretically yes, although we don't have any examples of vertical
How
stitching.
both?
But
What
you
happens if you wanted to, well, panning bigger? You
Well,
never
you
want to pan
could-
bigger, huh?
You could do what you're saying and pan vertically and horizontally. We just don't do it as a
Well,
practice.
but if you did that, then
You're back.
what I'm saying is you size the image into the viewing window so you always see one dimension completely
Okay.
Right.
My suggestion on this,
until you start zooming.
Right, and then you bring in...
Yeah.
Okay.
my suggestion is that we don't, and of course we're not going to worry about that today, we don't have the time to do that. We'll just hand wave that when we get to the end of this and we're saying, well, then we'll say, of course, when you stitch images together to do pan, you would first do the small size and then whatever.
Right.
We'll just hand wave, because the point of this math is to give us a basis for putting technical definitions into the claims if we run into the problem that we needed during prosecution.
Well, and then not only that, but it also is very helpful when we're talking to, when we're doing due diligence and we're talking to people about how does it work. This is how we sit down with them and say, here's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
This is not something that's off the seat of the pants.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that follows a disciplined structure.
Oh, absolutely, and that buys you credibility.
Right, and then when we license someone, this is part of the
And the
documentation.
biggest thing is it the best mode? Remember, we have to disclose the best mode